Thank you for joining us this evening. This is the Meet the Contractor public meeting for the Black Bob Road Improvements Project from 159th Street to 167th Street. My name is Scott Ward, and I'm the city's project manager. And as I get into some of the slides, I did want to say if I go too fast, especially when it comes to some of the exhibits showing the construction phases, just please let me know in the chat and I can go back or pause there. So some meeting admin notes that in order to eliminate any background noise, all attending microphones will remain muted during the meeting. Also, please note this meeting is being recorded so that a copy of it can be posted to the city's website. This presentation is a very broad overview of the improvements and should restart every 15 to 20 minutes. Should you have questions, please submit them via the chat box, which should be located at the bottom or top of your screen. We will attempt to answer all questions during the meeting. However, if questions don't get answered before the meeting runs out, or if you have questions after the presentation, please send me an email at scward@olatheks.org or call my direct line at 913-971-9020. This project is a joint effort between the City of Olathe and Johnson County. This project also qualified for funding from a federal transportation program and a county-wide roadway improvement program. The design engineer is Olson, and Superior Bowen Asphalt Company has been selected to build the improvements. I would like to extend my thanks to all the property owners for their coordination efforts. You've been great partners and are a key to making this project successful. On this slide are just a few of the individuals who make this great improvement happen. The city's inspectors are Kelsey Fletcher and Nate Gronow. The project manager for Johnson County Public Works is Ryan Sims. Olson's lead engineer for the project is Ryan Fleming. And representing Superior Bowen is their project manager, Dan Evans, and superintendent, DJ Hubler. This slide shows an overall view of the construction limits of this Black Bob Road improvement project. The limits in the title, 159th Street to 167th Street, are not as descriptive as we would like. However, they are well suited to providing a general location. The next slides will get into the details of the northern and southern limits. The northern limit of the work stops roughly between 159th Street and the entrance to Legacy Christian Church. This Black Bob Road project does not include any work on 159th Street. The southern limit of the improvements is just past 167th Terrace. The project was extended past 167th Terrace in order to replace a deteriorated storm sewer crossing underneath Black Bob Road. There is work on 167th Street, but it stops well short of Hall Street. This rendering shows the typical section and benefits of the 4-lane divided arterial that Black Bob Road will become at the end of the project. There will be 2 driving lanes on each side of a raised median, complete with new streetlights, bicycle lanes in each direction, sidewalks on both sides of the roadway, and dedicated turn lanes at appropriate intersections. All of these improvements will transform Black Bob Road from a narrow 2-lane road to a safer multimodal transportation facility. The side streets listed on the left will have full left and right turn capabilities onto Black Bob Road. The biggest change is converting the intersection of Black Bob Road and 167th Street into a roundabout. While there are no new traffic signals in the project, a pedestrian signal will be installed at the new entrance to Heritage Park, which will be located across from 161st Street. 161st Street is a future connection into the Heritage Ranch subdivision that is under construction on the west side of Black Bob Road. We will build a new park entrance at this intersection and close the old park entrance after the new one is built. The new park entrance will have much better sight lines than the current entrance, and its alignment with 161st Street will help with traffic safety and traffic flow. A similar pedestrian signal was installed last year at 147th Street and Flum Road. And please note that due to federal requirements, the signal cannot be installed until this project is near completion. For safety and productivity, the work is divided into 4 phases. In each phase, we'll completely close a portion of Black Bob Road to all traffic. Unless a modification is approved by the city, only a single phase of Black Bob Road may be closed at one time. When it is time to switch phases, I anticipate providing a 7-day notice. We will use message boards, your HOAs, and the project website to communicate the change. Work can occur outside of a phase as long as it doesn't completely close the road. Examples of this type of work include the new water main, earthwork, or the new storm sewer. Most of this work will occur outside the existing roadway. However, there are a few instances when we need to cross the existing road with either the new water main or the new storm sewer. These street crossings will be installed with flaggers controlling traffic and are done outside of rush hour. You also see lots of small flags and paint along the entire corridor, but that does not mean we are changing phases. It's simply the procedure for marking utilities and is typically done for the entire length of the project. So we anticipate starting work before the end of the month, and barring unforeseen circumstances, we anticipate opening the road to traffic by the spring of 2026. Merlin Road is assigned north-south detour route. As phases switch, the route taken to Heritage Park or your subdivision street may change, so please be aware. Speaking of Heritage Park, it will always have access off Black Bob Road. This is our planned phase 1, estimated to go from March through May. Phase 1 includes placing traffic control, general clearing work, starting the new reinforced concrete box that will carry stormwater underneath Black Bob Road, and associated road work up to 167th Terrace. Work on the new water main should also begin, and this work can be performed in all phases since it is outside of the existing roadway. Phase 2, estimated to run from May through September, and Phase 2 construction will start at 167th Terrace, will include the new roundabout, and ultimately go to 165th Street. There will be no access to Black Bob Road from 167th Street, and residents will either go north or south, depending on where they live. Phase 3, September through November. Phase 3 construction starts at 165th Street and includes the new Heritage Park entrance and the connection to 161st Street. The construction stops short of the current park entrance, and access to the park will be from the direction of 159th Street. Please note the locations I've shown for the new park entrance and 161st Street are not exact, and at this future intersection will be the new pedestrian signal. Our last phase, phase 4, November through March of 2026, and phase 4 construction will remove the current Heritage Park entrance, and construction will end south of 159th Street. The new Heritage Park entrance will be open, and access to Heritage Park will be from the direction of 175th Street. Monday through Friday is the typical work week, though work on Saturday can be permitted. The approved work window is 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., and these limits represent when the contractor is allowed to work. Work outside of these hours are permitted if approved by the city engineer. Examples of work outside the typical day or hours include tying the new water main into the existing system or finishing asphalt placement for the new road. There will be a new water main and several new water services installed with the project, and these facilities are owned by Water One. Within about 30 days, Water One will send out a letter with contact information and a request to join a web-based notification system. The notification system will alert you to the planned disruptions. Please contact Water One if you have questions or don't receive a letter within 60 days. And I'd like to include a brief note about communication lines and electrical service. I can assure you that no disruption to these vital utilities are planned or intended. Many hours have been spent attempting to locate and safely move any underground lines that could be in conflict with the project, though inevitably there might be a line that is unforeseen and gets cut during the course of the work. In the event something does get cut, please contact the service provider, then a member of the project team. The placement of sod, landscaping, irrigation, and fence work typically occurs toward the end of the project and as the season allows for sod and landscaping. If you notice a safety issue, please contact a member of the project team immediately so it can be addressed. Finally, I'd ask you to please respect the work zones and construction signing. At some point, the road will look complete and safe to drive on. However, if the barricades are still up, please do not move them. The individuals working on the project count on the barricades and signing to help keep them safe. Here's the contact information for City of Olathe, Johnson County, and Water One. And I can come back to that slide in a moment or two. Of course, you can contact me at any time with questions or comments, or if you'd prefer, you can visit the city's website for updates. On the city's website, look for government, public works, and then road closures and construction. This concludes the presentation. Thank you for your support and patience. I understand that construction can be tiring. However, the end result of the improvements will be worth it. And we'll pause here for questions. I'll put the contact information back up and see what we have.